Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and I have another great show planned for us. We're going to be looking at interdimensional creatures and beings, or interdimensional beings and creatures tonight. But first, while we wait for people to gather in the chat, let me go off and show some artwork off from my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs. Just a moment. Now, let me go over here. Let me go to share screen. And now we're going to go look at my artwork. Here's my extreme cover. This cover I did harken back to the comic books of the 90s. Looks pretty good. The name of my graphic novel is Scumdogs. It's a parody book. I parody the cartoons from the 80s. Cartoons that we all knew and loved when we were young. Now, the Scumdogs themselves, the title characters, they're supervillains out to take over the world. You'll see a lot of characters. I'll remind you of characters from 80s cartoons. They're led by my two main characters, are the stars of the show, Death Mug and Buick Starpoon. Death Mug is the purple guy with the male mask over here. He's an arrogant dictator who wants to rule the world. He's a combination of various villains from 80s cartoons. You can see in the way he looks. While he's fighting his archenemy, Buick Starpoon is basically a G.I. Joe parody. In fact, all of his members in his team on the Space Forces are G.I. Joe parodies. But he's also a parody of the space opera hero kind of character, from G.I. Joe, he's like Duke from G.I. Joe. Well, Buick Starpoon's mostly of a parody of Duke from G.I. Joe, but as I said, he's also a parody of the space opera hero kind of character, like Zap Brannigan, Captain Kirk, or Buzz Lightyear or Buck Rogers from those kinds of things. He's an arrogant military type of character who basically keeps doing the thing he's doing, even though it's wrong, and never admits he is wrong, and keeps doing it until it basically blows up in his face. That's Buick Starpoon. And as I said, he's a G.I. Joe parody. In fact, all of his members of his team are G.I. Joe parodies and stuff. Now, Death Mug, the guy with the purple guy with the male mask, as I said, is based on various villains from 80s cartoons. Like Skeletor from He-Man, he's got a skull face. Like the villains of G.I. Joe, the leaders of Cobra, he's got like Cobra Commander, he's got a metal mask. Like Serpentor, he's got gold on him, and he's purple like the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, as I said, the other members of Buick Starpoon's team are also, you can see on this cover, anyone wearing a similar uniform to each other is part of his team in the Space Forces, and they're all G.I. Joe parodies. This guy over here with the mohawk, his name is Roadhog. His military specialty, because they're G.I. Joe parodies, they each have a military specialty in the military they do. He is an Roadhog here is a army guy. He used to be part of the army before he did anything else, and then he joined up with Buick Starpoon. Now over here we have this bald guy with his gun, and this bald guy with a gun his name. Let me try that again. This bald guy with the gun. His name is Beach Pounder. His military specialty, is that he's a Marine, just another Marine. Before he joined up with before he joined up in the Space Forces, he was part of the he was just another one of those guys. He was Beach Pounder, part of the Marines. Then we have this guy back here in the red uniform driving that vehicle, firing off his weapons. His name is Blast Tank. His military specialty is that he's a heavy vehicle specialist, a tanker. Now this cover is one of 3 different variant covers you can back when my Indiegogo goes live, okay? So remember that you have plenty of chances to do so. Looks pretty good, huh? Now we'll look at more characters that will be appearing in my book. Here we have Girl Friday. She's another member of the Wild Rangers. That's the name of Buick Starpoon's team in the Space Forces. She was assigned to work directly under Buick Starpoon, because while the Wild Rangers fight the Scumdogs and save the universe, there are also complete idiots who basically can't save anything. Their idea of saving something is basically destroying it or burning it down and basically destroying everything. So the head off criticism from the public. She was assigned to work directly under work for the scum dogs, or to work directly under Buick Starpoon and basically try and control them and basically put their energies, or basically direct them into basically saving the day instead of basically destroying, basically making it worse. Now, Girl Friday hates her job because she thinks her career in the military is over, because basically she's a little better than a sitter now. She basically, or a watcher now. She just watches Buick Starpoon and basically hates him and hates everything about it, because she hates their effect, or she can't do anything but basically be a sitter. Girl Friday is just going to be a fun character to read about. Now, also, please, folks, hit that like button for me. It really helps me fight the algorithm so more people can see my content. And the more people that see my content means my graphic novel Scumdogs comes out all the sooner. As well, remember this, on my Twitter page at 777megachris1, this video will be up for the next 24 hours or so until I make it, because YouTube is burying my videos, and if you want to see this video again, you can watch it right from my Twitter page at 77megachris1, because they bury my videos, which means this video won't appear on my YouTube channel till sometime tomorrow. So remember that. If you want to watch this video, go to at 77megachris1. Also, hit that bell and hit the part of the bell that gives you all future notifications for my videos, as well as please go share this video out on Twitter and Facebook. Now let's look at Death Mug's henchmen, because in all 80s cartoons, the main villain of the cartoon would have henchmen, and they'd be idiots. These are my idiots. The pink guy down here is Sloppy, and the blue guy up here with the top hat is Murdermouth. There are a couple of idiots that do whatever Death Mug says, and they're going to be fun as hell to read about. They completely screw everything up. They completely screw things up. They destroy everything around them, and they're funny as hell. So there's that. Now we'll look at Hair Metal Doctor. Hair Metal Doctor is another member of the Scum Dogs. He's a parody of Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe, a mad scientist. But my scientist here has been crossed over with a hair mill musician. That makes him awesome. He thinks of all the gadgets and machines the Scum Dogs use to try and take over the universe. He does it while being Hair Metal Doctor. And here we have Miss Brusty Melons, who's basically a parody of the Baroness. She joined up with the Scum Dogs because, well, she wanted to be a villain for fun. She only became a villain for fun. She's only doing villainous things for fun. That's Miss Brusty Melons here. Now, the people have said I should make a perk or a stretch goal every time I reach a new stretch goal in my campaign. When my graphic novel Scumdogs is up on Indiegogo, I work on my book every day, folks. When it's up and done, it'll be up on Indiegogo. So when it is, go back it. That I should make Miss Brusty Melons' breasts bigger with each stretch goal. Maybe I'll do that. But remember this, here's this. I have to say this. Now, the Hair Metal Doctor pinup and the Miss Breasty Melons pinup will be included with other pinups in my graphic novel when you back it, when it's up on Indiegogo, when Scumdogs is up on Indiegogo. But I will also get these pinups out to you from Crypto Fashion on t-shirts for you to buy as well. You heard that? Yeah, I will make t-shirts, and they'll be made from Crypto Fashion, or Crypto Fashion will make the t-shirts, and they'll have this pinup art on it as well of Hair Metal Doctor and Miss Breasty Melons and others for you to buy. All right, folks, so looked at this. Let's go exit out of these and look at maybe some Indiegogos before we get into extra dimensional beings tonight. Hello, Bianca the Zombie. Aloha, dude. What's up, Mr. Real Gamer? Listening to the melodious sound of your voice while I fall asleep. Thank you, Mr. Real Gamer. Let's go and look at some Indiegogos real quick, and we'll have some fun. Let's see. Wrath of God is made 39,449 with 29 days left. Let's refresh this. Wrath of God is made 45,190 with 28 days left. Not bad. U.S. Assassin Book 3 Graveyard Shift has made 11,607. Let's go take a look at this. A new book with U.S. Assassin and Graveyard Shift. Project U.S. Assassin is reborn as Agent Joe Knight is assigned all new team to go against the world's greatest threat, Graveyard Shift, featuring the first appearance of professional wrestler, superstar mercenary Flip Gordon. Writer Mark Polton, Graveyard Shift, and other books books. Has his two biggest creations face off in an all-out battle in this 54-page high-octane graphic novel, joined by U.S. Assassin co-creator and others. Mike Mann. U.S. Assassin Mike Mann are joined by Gray and others are basically going to give you a great-looking book. Yes, Anthony Michael McMahon, joined by Graveyard Shift's colorist Anthony George and other guys who worked on his book to give you this book. And you have a few different covers. Each of these covers is $25. Yeah, this book is $25, and it looks pretty good with each of these covers. All right, let's go down here. The art in this book looks great. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. There's a new character, Flip. Chainsaw something guy, or what was his name? Mercenary. Yeah, his name was Flip Gordon. Here he is. Looks good. Looks like a great looking book. All right. Pro Wrestling's Mercenary, Flip Gordon makes U.S. Assassin debut and the newest recruit to the U.S. Assassin team. Can he be trusted? Not only does he appear in the main book, but you can enhance your reading experience by picking up the Mercenary Bazooka Dog 20-page flip book, where you'll learn the mercenary who's worried about spreading this volume. The Mercenary stories by Polton and other writers. It looks like pretty good. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. Yes, U.S. Assassin book 3, Graveyard Shift, where we have several different covers you can choose from, and they all look great. The U.S. Assassin Collected Edition. You will see the U.S. Assassin Collected Edition, which collects volumes 1 and 2, signed by Mark Polden and Mike McMahon. You can also get this thing where you get a bunch of books all together that also looks good. So, U.S. Assassin Book 3, Graveyard Shift. You get it. It's up on Indiegogo, so go get it. Maybe we should look at this trailer too.
I'm the mercenary, Flip Gordon. And I'm joining the U.S. Assassins team.
This is U.S. Assassin. They about the action, ready to make it happen. Yeah, this is the elite government task force. Whole team is official. What more could you ask for? Yeah, this is U.S. Assassin. You don't want drama. If they pull us, they blasting. Monsters of the graveyard shift. You ain't never seen a squad quite like this. We got Bazooka Dog, and he don't cut no slack. A dog with a giant bazooka on his back. Slippery is a reptilian, alien. 3 snakes for a tongue. You don't want to mess with him. Sensei Steel, who are so mysterious, martial artists and trainers. Swim with the case, Zero Face is a bad guy turned good. The mercenary is a beast, get it understood. Takeout is a fast shooter, fast. Kirby is the Lone Ranger, so she hits hard. Lieutenant Ray, second in command. Yes, she beat. Who's the brains of the team of super ninja at the lead? Yeah, hey, this is U.S. Assassin. Yeah, this is U.S. Assassin. Let's go.
All right, that looks good. This looks good. Go back this book. Looks great. It has all your favorite characters in it, folks. U.S. Assassin, Book 2, Graveyard. Yeah, Graveyard. Where Graveyard Shift and U.S. Assassin U.S. Assassin Graveyard Shift face off. And it looks good. Now, we've been at this for a few minutes. Let's go over and look at extra-dimensional beings. Extra-dimensional presence or unknown people. Let's take a look at that. Let's start off with this. Talking about extra-dimensional beings, beings from other universes who may be crushing into our own. Let's go look at this first off. The late Mac Tonis told me only a couple of months before his death, after devouring countless books on the UFO controversy and the paranormal, I began to acknowledge that the extra-dimensional hypothesis suffered from some tantalizing flaws. In short, the aliens seemed to be more like surreal caricatures of ourselves than beings possessing the godlike technology one might plausibly expect from interstellar visitors. I came to the realization that extra-dimensional extraterrestrial hypothesis isn't strange enough to encompass the entirety of occupant cases. It was the same realizations which made tons look elsewhere, not to the stars, not to the galaxies, and not to the world around us, rather to the world directly and deeply below us. Theory tons developed was that perhaps some of the intelligence behind the UFO phenomenon are not extraterrestrial or interdimensional, as many assume, but are believed them to be, after all, called them the crypto-terrestrials. Wrong article, but you get the idea. The end stuff. Extraterrestrial presence or unknown people. Let me go. We can base. It's a moment here. This thing's not doing it. Oops. This presence, creatures from Bigfoot is an interdimensional interloper. We read that in Spiritual Paths to Space, a classic among interdimensionals, non-human entities, and wholeness in the implicit order. I can read that one with this. New experiment provides compelling evidence that life has extraterrestrial origin. Looking for extra-dimensional beings. I wanted that. It's over here. Should have been easier to find. Healing kind. Let me go over to here a moment. Beings. Damn it. I had a few articles. I thought they would be the right ones. Let's see. Let me try this again. All right, got this. Yeah. Try it again. Let me try this. A man who claims to photograph multidimensional beings. Bizarre year, truly bizarre interdimensional interlopers, 1965. I already talked about that article. I could read it again. Let's see. Strange alien abduction in America. Like a New Age cultists in America. Let's see. Let's go look at this. The man who claims to photograph interdimensional beings. I think I've read this article before and stuff. So let's look at it. Have you ever wondered what multidimensional beings look like? David Nims once, but he developed a tool for viewing them. Well, this guy like that. Now he's viewing them. He basically wondered. And now he's and now has thousands of images of multidimensional beings on his Facebook page. Have you ever wondered what a multidimensional being, what they are? He's a good person to answer that. Most believers in the multiverse of multiple universes don't often talk about any beings living in them other than parallel universes with some alternate form of us. Nim's photos of multidimensional beings or entities look nothing like humans. He posts them quite frequently, so viewing them can be a welcome, albeit just as scary as an alternative to watching watching the news. A video containing many of the images can be viewed here. Maybe we'll look at that. It is an electronic Ouija board with images and sound. The project is quite advanced. According to an interview with MysteriousTimes.com, Nims was a science and astronomy buff growing up in Madrid, and is now a scientist and inventor in Colombia. Mathematical calculations and optical experiments. He developed a device that uses special lenses, ultra-sensitive screens, invention above all sunlight. The process, which he calls energy vision, allegedly generates images of things. Some look like faces, others look like bodies, sometimes with wings. With his Facebook comment about the device being on an electronic Ouija board, he obviously thinks these could be beings that are evil, and he's convinced they exist in other dimensions or planes. It would be nice if the image were this clear. The only way I can have to publicize, well, I don't think this is one of them. Publicize my invention. The captures are by Facebook since 2015. I have posted 1,000 photos on my Facebook. Nims claims he's tried to show Energavision to the scientific community, though he doesn't say how, and was rejected, not a surprise. He also claims the mainstream media has ignored the photos and his theories. That's not surprising when you consider some of the comments of those who agree with him, often referring to astral planes, which is more religious or occult than science. In addition, most of the photos appear to be split mirror images like Rorschach's ink blot. As anyone who has looked at those for any length of time can attest, the imagination and morphism and pareidolia kick in quickly, and it is easy to see faces, winged creatures, horned beings, and other scary things. Finally, the faces all appear to be looking straight into the Intervision device like extra-dimensional mugshots. That's not to discredit Neem's photos, just to point out that to make a scientific analysis, it would be helpful to know more about the Intergen device, the process he uses, the locations where he finds these beings. To his credit, Neem's comment on Facebook have a definite philosophical and philosophical and psychological angle. He promotes positive thinking and vibrations and warns viewers to avoid negative thoughts, which would probably attract these things out of other dimensions and into ours if they're real. Nothing wrong with using scary pictures and stories of evil beings to get people to think positive amidst the stream of occult negativity. Well, there's all that basically. So this could very well be. Let's maybe take a look at some of these pictures, huh? Let's look at this Facebook page if you like that. Go to newsfeed. It doesn't look like it's available. Annoying. This guy says he can pictures. I've heard about him taking pictures of interdimensional beings. Because you look at this interview with MysteriousTimes.com as well. Oh, here's some of the artwork. Here's some of these beings. Let's take a closer look at it. It doesn't look like it. Maybe get on here. Oh, here's another one. Very blurry. Let me blow it up a bit. And there's others. Yeah, there's supposed to be interdimensional beings, huh? Oh, look at that. I've seen some of these before. Oh, wow. If you want to leave me a few more chats, I'd like to hear about it, folks. Yeah, look at some of these things. Yeah, we talked about this guy. Maybe we should read the article too. Let me load this right then. If you want to, weird stuff, huh? Here's the good, like this. Daniel Neem, a scientist and inventor originally from Spain, Colombia, since he, for years, he became interested in astronomy and science, member of the astronomical group. He says that the project started when he read an article in a magazine about the dark matter of the universe and the multi-dimensional universe momentarily interested him and called attention to. So he had the initiative to perform mathematical calculations and optical experiments to be able to capture images of the beyond. He discovered a method of capturing far superior infrared ultraviolet black light video camera with TV without antenna, etc. And with that method, they call method, huh? Oh, if you're wondering, folks, we're looking at extra-dimensional beings tonight. Creatures that try to get into ours that come from other universes. Are the UFOs we see at night actually creatures from other universes? Is Bigfoot maybe a creature from another universe that basically stumbled into ours? That's what we're talking about tonight, folks. As well as please hit that like button for me because it helps me fight the algorithm, so please do so. As well as remember, folks, this video, if you want to watch it again, will be up on my Twitter page on the first pinned tweet at 777megachris1 because YouTube is burying my videos, and if you want to watch this video again as soon as it's done, go to my Twitter page at 77megachris1. It'll be the first pinned tweet for a little bit, for at least 20 for the next day or so. let's get back to this article. I use special lenses, ultra-sensitive screens, and of his invention, and above all, sunlight. The images that he captures are of unknown origin. He explains that this theory is that they are images of other planes. However, he says he has not traveled to other places to expose the invention. He has tried to make known to the scientific community and only answered the scientific body of the U.S. in a rude way. The media have ignored and silenced the discovery along with images it captured. Daniel Nims says, only way I have to publish is my invention, and the captures are by Facebook. Since 2015, I've posted 1,000 photos on my Facebook. When I started to publish my images on my social network, I had a lot of rejection. Very hard and even insults towards me. Fortunately, my images are now more known, and when I post on my Facebook or in other groups, it's rare to receive a disqualification or insult. Interesting. Okay, we looked at that. Interdimensional beings. Interesting. Laws of the cosmos beings. We learned that extraterrestrials among us. Dimensional beings. Let's try this. There's a intention of experiments. Interdimensional UFOs and multi-dimensional beings converge at Mount Adams. All right. Let's take a look at this article and have some fun. Over the July 4th, 2010 weekend, this old article here, Alfred Lambert Webb returned to the source of the modern era of flying saucers, the Cascade Mountain Range. At the Cascade Mountain Range. And to the interdimensional portals surrounding Mount Adams, including the portals at the East City Ranch and the foot at Mount Adams for the 2010 Science and Spirit World Transformation Conference. Magical Interdimensional Interdependence Day weekend with numerous documented UFOs, including a UFO document following the International Space Station as it orbited over Mount Adams immediately after an intention to experiment on the night of July 3rd, 2010. An interdimensional probe documented right after an intention of experiment with a group of laughter meditation on the night of July 4th, 2010. An interdimensional that flew around the outdoors, interdimensional ET UFO that flew around the outdoor circle formed by approximately 200 conference participants, night of July 3rd, 2010. It is uncertain whether the UFO following the International Space Station ISIS in the July 3rd, 2010 video takes at Mount Adams is the unmanned Russian cargo ship Progress 38, which docked at the ISIS on Sunday, July 4th, 2010, 2017 p.m. EDT. I think let's just go a bit deeper in this. The previous failed docking of the Progress 38 unmanned cargo ship was on Friday, July 2nd. NASA spokesperson Stephen Scholes had stated to this reporter it was safe to... Dustin! Hey, Chris! Hey, Dustin! Thanks for checking in this Scumdog's Kennel. I'm talking about extra-dimensional beings. Rob Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn. This is the place for extra-dimensional beings to hang out and hail. And hail, yes, Bob Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn. Welcome. Let's get back to this article. Progress 38, unmanned Russian space cargo. Yeah, I assume that the UFO was a Progress 38 unmanned Russian space cargo. The City videos have been forwarded to NASA spokesperson Stephen Schultz for the review and analysis. Videos of these interdimensional UFO experiences can be seen in the Examiner.com article that is below. Examiner article, Other documented past visitors of Mount Adams, the city dimensional portals include a 10-foot tall, intelligent feline extraterrestrial and an interdimensional being in the marine archetype who may be an upper dimensional extraterrestrial from a constellation in this galaxy. They were photographed by Ken, a Japanese monk, at the East City Ranch. Ken's photographs of these multidimensional beings and in Vancouver UFO Examiner. It looks like blacked out here for this guy's name is blacked out for some reason. Photographs of the hyperdimensional UFOs that appeared at the 2010 conference are included in a special slideshow next Examiner.com below. Describing Mount Adams, the source states, Bob Rogers, two-headed women. Yeah, I know. Actually, it's this woman right here and stuff like that. Describing Mount Adams, the source states that they appear to be your typical cheer girls, at a sporting event, cheerleaders, or just cheer girls. Describing Mount Adams, one source states Mount Adams is a particularly very, very, very live site. In the Cascade Range and the second highest mountain in the U.S. state of Washington. Adams is a member of the Cascade Volcanic Arc. It is one of the Arc's largest volcanoes, located in a remote wilderness approximately 31 miles kilometers east of Mount St. Helens. The upper and western part of the volcano's cone. Eastern side of the mountain is part of the Yakama Nation. Mount Adams, astronomical and broad body, raises 1.5 miles above the Cascade crest. Its nearly flat summit was formed as a result of cone-building eruptions. It's 2.4 kilometers above the Cascade crest. Its nearly flat summit was formed as a result of cone-building eruptions from separated vents. Air travelers flying the busy routes above the area sometimes confess Mount Adams with nearby Mount Rainier, which is similar flat-top shape. Native Americans, the area have composed many legends concerning the three smoking mountains that guard the Columbia River. According to the Bridge of the God's Tail, Reyes, Mount Hood, and Photo, Mount Adams are also called Patter or Kick Tat by Native peoples. Were the sons of the Great Spirit. The brothers both competed for the love of the beautiful Lawalakula, Mount St. Helens. When Lawalakula chose Paroboy Est, struck his brother hard to see that Photo's head was flattened. Reyes took Lawalakula from him, thus attempting to explain Adams' squat appearance. Other versions of the story state that the losing Lawalakula caused Photo such grief that he dropped his usual head in shame. Destin, giants are cutting down trees. Really? Send me an article or tell me what to look at. Maybe I'll look at that tomorrow. Physicist Nessium, something this guy whose name's been erased, and I think this physicist tells us the sun is the singularity or interdimensional portal to our solar system, and the Seattle exopolitics examiners documented how giant UFOs appear to be accessing our solar system through the Stargate in our sun. Stargate, huh? Volcanoes like Mount Adams, Nissan Henchmen also tells us the planet's singularities and our interdimensional portals or stargates for volcanoes at Lake Mount volcanoes like Mount Adams. Basically, people tell us some guys who are basically into this stuff also tell us that the planet's singularities, our interdimensional portals or stargates for entry into our third dimension airspace of interdimensional probes by intelligent ET civilizations and multidimensional beings. This reporter, Alfred Limburg, personally witnessed numerous interdimensional UFOs probe occurring at the Ikiti Ranch at the foot of Mount Adams every evening from July 1st through July 4th, 2010. A number of specific experiments were undertaken to intentionally trigger an interdimensional UFO probe through meditation and intention. These exercises appear to have been successful, demonstrated by the videos in the Examiner.com article below. Paul Bunyan. Oh, Paul Bunyan, huh? That's right about him cutting down trees. All right. Let's go look at some more articles on interdimensional beings, interdimensional vortexes that take people. Let's take a look at this. There. Nepal, is right next. There are legends here that has it that there is an interdimensional vortex in Tibet. In this country, this vortex has introduced the world to the legendary Shambhala that also inspired the legendary Shangri-La. Below are comments that are credited to various news agencies and Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, Shangri-La is a fictional place described in 1933 novel Lost Horizon. British author James Hilton. Hilton described Shangri-La, mystical humorous valley gently guided from a Lumsey Lumsey, enclosed in the western end of the Kulon Mountains. Shangri-La has become synonymous with earthly paradise, and particularly a mythical Himalayan utopia. Novel Lost Horizon, the people who live at Shangri-La are almost immortal, living years beyond the normal lifespan and only very slowly aging in appearance. Special note from Paul, ancient aliens and angels and other extra-dimensional beings are known to have a long lifespan. An ancient man, according to our own Bible, would live hundreds of years, even thousands of years. The world also evokes the imagery of ecstatism of the Orient in the ancient Tibetan scriptures. Of 7 such places is mentioned as Nigabiuk. Well, as Nig, I can't really say the name. I'm just going to skip it. And some scholars believe that Shangri-La story owes, book debt to Shambhala, a mythical kingdom in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, which was basically people basically going after it by Eastern and Western explorers. Could a U.S. military helicopter vanish because of the interdimensional portal near and around Shambhala? Crews are continuing the search for a missing U.S. military chopper and its 8 passengers. Its passengers, and the 8 people on it, after it vanished Tuesday somewhere in the cloaked and craggy Himalayan hillside of Nepal. But there remains no contact from the UH-1 Huey. Military officials say even though the helicopter was equipped with a GPS device, radio, and emergency beacon, its unexplained disappearance has left even experienced helicopter pilots perplexed. It's baffling. Retired Army helicopter pilot Jim Witherill told NBC News on Thursday, why isn't the emergency beacon transmitting a frequency to where they might be? The Huey vanished late Tuesday following a magnitude 7.3. The earthquake, no aftershock that rocked Nepal earlier that day, killing at least magnitude 3, killing at least 96 people. The chopper was on its way. Dustin, the author has never really read the books. Maybe. Aftershock, the chopper was on its way to deliver aid in the hard-hit district of Kokla, east of Kathmandu. Okay, east of that, huh? East of 6 Americans, 2 Nepal's service members were on board. Defense Department officials have said there were no reports of smoke or a loud bang indicating that the aircraft crashed. 2 Marine MV-22 Osprey tilt-rotor aircraft have been combing a search area. Army Colonel Steve Warren, a Pentagon spokesperson, said the helicopter from India reported hearing a possible fuel problem with the Huey. The Marine had just dropped off their supplies in one location and were on their way to the second stop when they lost contact. What can we learn about the triangle? Well, the triangle of missing people there. It's not a lot like the Bermuda Triangle. They call it the Dragon's Triangle. The triangle there. The Bermuda Triangle. In fact, if you place a straight line through the Earth from the Bermuda Triangle, the other end would be the Dragon's Triangle. Remarkable. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle, the famous triangle with the Pacific Bermuda Triangle, is a region of the Pacific around Nuuk Island, about 100 kilometers south of Tokyo. The Devil's Sea is one of 12-mile vortices originally plotted by this Ivan guy, and the size and area varies with the report. Only reports stem from the 50s, for the various reports placing it 102 kilometers, 68 meters from the unspecified part of Japan, east coast, 480 kilometers, 300 meters from the coast, and even near Iwo Jima, 1,200 kilometers, 750 miles from it, huh? Well, from coast, huh? From it, huh? All right. Interesting. This area is said to be a danger zone of Japanese maps. According to Charlie Billett's books, the Bermuda Triangle, 1974, and the Dragon's Triangle, 1989, he says that in the peacetime years between 1952 and 54, Japan lost 5 military vessels, with crews lost totaling over 700 people. The Japanese government sent a research vessel with over 100 scientists on board to study the Devil Sea, and that ship too vanished. And finally, that area was officially declared a danger zone. According to Larry Kuntz's investigation, these military vessels were fishing vessels, and some of them were lost outside the Devil Sea, even as far away as Iwo Jima, 1,000 kilometers to the south. He also points out that at the time, hundreds of fishing boats were lost around Japan every year. Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 was a scheduled international passenger flight that disappeared on 8 March 2014 while flying from Kuala Lumpur, from Kuala International Airport near Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing Capital Beijing Capital Airport in Beijing. China Flight 370 last made voice contact with air traffic control at 019 March when it was over the South China Sea. Less than an hour after takeoff, the aircraft disappeared from air traffic controllers' radar screens. At 1:21, Malaysian military radar continued to track a Flight 370 as it deviated from its planned flight path and crossed the Malay Peninsula. First Flight 370 left the range of military radar at 2:22 while over the Andaman Sea, 200 nautical miles, 370 kilometers, 2,000 miles northwest of Penguin in northeastern Malaysia. The aircraft, a Boeing 777-200ER, was 200-year, was carrying 12 Malaysian crew members and 227 passengers. Don't mind me, folks. Just taking a breather. A multinational search effort began to the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea, where the flight signal was lost on secondary surveillance radar and was soon extended to the Strait of Malacca and Andaman Sea analysis satellite. Communications between the aircraft and the Mauritius satellite communications network concluded that the flight continued until at least 8:19 MYT and flew south into the southern Indian Ocean. Although the precise location cannot be determined, Australia took charge of the search effort on March 17th when the search shifted to the south, to the Indian Ocean. On 24 March 2014, the Malaysian government noted that the final location determined by the satellite communication is far from any possible landing sites. Conclude that the flight MH370 ended in the southern Indian Ocean. The current phrase of the search is a comprehensive search of the seafloor about 1,800 kilometers, 1,100 miles southwest of Perth, Australia, which began in October 2014, despite being the largest, most expensive search in aviation history. There has been no confirmation of any flight debris resulting in speculation about its disappearance. From Paul, how is it that this large airline like Flight 370 disappeared without leaving any kind of trace of wreckage or bodies? With a huge search party in a large area of search, something should have been turned out. How can a 21st century helicopter disappear in Nepal with all the advanced tracking devices in this helicopter? I hope that we can't get a rating on this location. Is this even possible? Is there a UFO alien connection, or an average 9,000 people are missing in the U.S. at any given time, according to Todd Matthews from the National Missing Unidentified Persons System, NIMU, a national database for missing people? Some of these people never turn up ever again. I'm talking about missing people in the U.S., and now if we looked at statistics for missing people every year throughout the world, you are talking millions. Where are all these people going? Why do some UFO abductees say that they see other people on board motherships? Why is this information being suppressed from us? What does the military know? Well, yeah, what does everyone in our government know? What does the military know? Is the government trading off extraterrestrial technology with aliens and allowing them to abduct us for experiments, harvesting and propagation for other worlds, or are we being taken to other dimensions? What's really going on? If you please answer. If you know, just write it down. 5/12/2015 login time calls 14:30 hours. Type of call, paranormal hotline. Name of caller, LeBron Chun. Location, call, LaGrange, Missouri. Situation, almost on an innately basis. LeBron has visions of nightmares of a basket that, lowered from his bedroom ceiling. Inside the basket is an Asian woman, small frame. At first she is attractive, then she will look hideous. She will look demonic. In the morning, LeBron will find scratches on the lower part of his abdomen. LeBron believes that he has acquired this demon from witch in Thailand. His story continues while LeBron was stationed in Korea, did some R&R in Thailand, being a single guy. When a massage parlor in Bangkok, after the parlor, he hired 3 women for a spin the basket. 2 of the women will lie on the bed with LeBron and accommodate him sexually, causing arousal. Then the ladies will lower the basket, and inside the basket is a gorgeous small Asian. Is another girl with her legs lifted in the air inside the wicker basket. The basket has a hole on its bottom. The basket is gently lowered upon the man. There is plenty of lubrication. Then after the basket is lowered on the man, the 2 girls will spin the basket. They will continue to spin the basket until the man has reached the end. LeBron experienced this pleasure when he departed. He took the money from the counter. Then he gave the 3 ladies. When one of the ladies discovered what LeBron did, it was too late. LeBron was out the door and in the crowded street. One of the ladies that LeBron remembers had a strange tattoo on her face. Says that the tattoo reminded him of the cult because the tattoo had a weird thing on it. It was an all-seeing eye. Goat's head and goat's, looked like that, huh? Or looked like something. All seen. LeBron believes this lady of the night was a witch and placed a curse on him. Special note on having LeBron get a full submersion baptism. He agrees to it. Special note: customs are very different. Yes. Customs are very different in Asia. The Philippines and China are known to eat dog. While I had dinner with this one family in Korea, they served me broccoli over rice. It was so delicious. At some point in time, the Korean family started laughing at me. I asked why. We're laughing at me, and the other mother says, "You eat dog." Family served me dog without me knowing about it. It was dinner with didn't have dinner with his family. Didn't have dinner with his family. Again, did he? Another time in Korea, my buddy brought his girlfriend puppy. 2 weeks later, we went back there, and the boyfriend asked his girlfriend where the puppy was. Girlfriend says she ate it. Says boyfriend was devastated with the news. Found her, didn't like her anymore. Found her disgusting. He left her for another woman. Taiwan, ate chick on stick. It was my invitation for being in South Korea. Why are we reading this? So, just give you, I guess, something for this article. My fellow soldiers took me to a freelance vendor that had baby chicks in cages. To the left of the vendor with a pot of boiling oil. One of the soldiers orders the chicks on a stick. The vendor grabs the chick, impales it with a stick. He instantly takes the chick and dips it in boiling oil. When he pulls out the cooked chick, he seasons it and dips it in a pat of chicken ketchup and hands it over to me. Blah, blah, blah. Any more? I guess that didn't have anything to do with the article, or maybe it did. Sorry about that, folks. I was just reading. Thought it had something to do with something with it. Interdimensional Incidents. The multidimensional time traveler. Let me go over to this one, Interdimensional Incidents. Something I don't like talking about, but I will right here in this article. I had 2 incidents in which I felt like I did some interdimensional traveling. Incident in 1988, in which I was traveling from San Francisco to Sacramento while driving to Sacramento in 880. The town of Versailles no longer existed. I should have drove right through. This town never did, and kept wondering inside my head, where is the town? Another odd thing was this trip I should have taken me about an hour and 20 minutes. According to the map pass, I have never made San Francisco in 1 hour and 29 minutes. According to MapQuest, I have never, Traffic is always bad. It would usually take me 2 hours and 30 minutes going back home. I was back in Sacramento within 1 hour. I could never figure out how I went from San Francisco to Sacramento within 1 hour. Somehow I gained 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is something that is impossible to do. Another incident happened when I left Walnut Creek for another area. This incident occurred in 1992. I would travel in this one area. I believe it was, and truck, and I would see Sacramento exit sign, and I would drive towards the Sacramento exit sign. I kept seeing the same Sacramento exit sign 4 times and traveled 45 minutes each time, reaching the very same sign. It was like I was traveling in a constant loop. Either I am terrible in navigating in my own vehicle, or something very strange occurred while I was traveling. My wife Dina experienced her own. Well, I was traveling. My wife Dina experienced her own interdimensional experience. She will describe from below. All right, let's see about her experience. One time, my stepmom and I were driving together. I was a child. We were passing road signs and looking at them when we came across a town called Secret, and we laughed because it was so funny for some reason. We saw that on the boards every time that we passed the road sign with miles left to go. The numbers would all be wrong. It went up and down, and then by the time we were so intrigued, miles and miles later, it was just gone. One time when I was about 20, I noticed the apartment that I kept hearing sounds of bells, like the kind that you can hear ringing on Christmas. So I walked out all through the house, searching for where the sound was coming from. Every time that I would open a door. I thought I could hear large feathers flapping and noticed the temperature would drop very severely, that I would have the chills all over. Then I would close the door and hear the sounds in the room again. So I would go to look and find it would be warm again, and the sound would travel to another room. That was happening in multiple rooms. This was happening in multiple rooms, huh? Interesting. When I had my vampire experience, I sometimes wondered if it was walking into another dimension where they existed, because when they were around, it seemed like everything was different. The energy would just seem to lift as if in ascension from another place. Of course, it would always happen late at night, and also the moon seemed like it was closer than normal at the time. Thank you, Diana, for sharing your experience. There is a 1947 FBI document that exists that explains there are interdimensional beings right here on Earth, and that their ethereal world is linked to our world, where when these interdimensional beings arrive in our vibration, they will naturally materialize. According to legend, 13 beings arrived to Earth in 3000 BC, and they made claims that they were from space, between space and another dimension. These beings taught the Uga agriculture and irrigation. The Nazca lines were dedicated to these 13 beings. Dimensional beings. Nazca saw these guys as basically higher dimensional people from a higher dimension. All right. The Nazca lines were in honor of these 13 gods. In fact, the Nazca lines would wrap their children's heads with rope so that their children's heads would grow in deformity. They would, be elongated like their gods' heads. It was said that these 13 had a hive mind. They would all think as a singular being. They would all think as a singular being. The 13 would reside at the temple of the temple would reside in this temple over here. I'm not going to say its name because I don't want to I don't want to screw up saying it. So as you can see, the idea of interdimensional beings has been around for a long time. So let's take a look at some cases on interdimensional incidents. In 1954, a man arrives in the Tokyo International Airport, and he has all of the documents necessary to show that he was from the country of Tuareg. When questioned by authorities, the man stated that Tuareg had been around for 1,000 years and pointed on the map that Tuareg was between Spain and France. The confused authorities became even more confused when they discovered checks on this person, and the checks indicate they originate from an unknown bank in the country of Tuareg. On the visa, it shows stamping from other countries that are known, but the passport originates from Tuareg. The only thing the authorities could do was detain the man in a hotel room and not allowing him to leave until they can get the situation sorted out. When opening the hotel room door in the middle of the night, the man vanished. There was actually in the morning, wasn't it? Or maybe in the middle of the night, the man vanished. There was no way he could escape. There was only one hotel window, and he would have fell from a 15-story height. Another interdimensional incident is where a man claims he walked into another dimension, discovers the Beatles still together and all the Beatles were alive. The producer of a record called Everyday Chemistry, and he brought back a tape cassette that it was all of the songs from Everyday Chemistry. Ellie claims she traveled in alternative reality. Riverside, Olivia Ramirez. Well, Olivia. From Seville, from Seville to Akel de Gurns and had found herself in another dimension. Things were different in this dimension, but they were similar. A couple of girls in Utah traveling on a black asphalt road saw the road turn white, and before they knew it, they were in another dimension where the cars were oval-shaped. They were terrified from this experience. One lean science believes there are other dimensions within our own world. It leans towards believing there are other dimensions. I just gave you some samples of various interdimensional incidents. Of course, there are many other stories from the Philadelphia experiment to the dimensional hopping Bigfoot. Yeah, there are such stories as well as those. Now, that was a good one to basically end this video on, I suppose. We can also look at this multidimensional time traveler. So maybe we should look at this. Often, after waking from a night of traveling, I find myself immersed in thought and why most people tend to fear the unknown and choose to live in oblivion. Perhaps ignorance is indeed bliss, but what is bliss is deprives of the truth of our potential. Yeah, truth. Our lives attain a structure from phenomena that we are able to explain and see in the physical body. And it's through fragments of human creation, such as the concept of time, that we have come to construct what is possible and what is impossible. Likewise, what characterizes the truth and what is deemed as absurdity. Nevertheless, constantly questioning our existence on this planet we call home undoubtedly remains part of the human nature. Karma, reincarnation, the human life cycle are all concepts that many individuals spend countless hours of their lives on Earth curiously wondering over. But as residents of the planet, we often find our thoughts and attempts at forming an understanding scathed by the limits of our physicality, distracted and misled by the hustle and bustle of everyday life, physical life, our true essence, our true essence, that of the energetic, is placed aside to be boxed, meticulously taped shut, and then left neglected in a dusty unkempt corner within a forgotten abyss of our mind. However, our mind, like our soul, is indestructible and incomprehensible, incalculable. However, within our energetic potential, governed by our thoughts, the mind's alignment in the heart of a successful elevation of our vibrational fringes can occur. The cornerstone of obtaining multidimensional travels to a higher dimension of love and light. The undeniable truth is that we are all energetic, being composed of energies, rhythms, vibrations. Living in an energetic world is not until we learn to cast aside our physical encasements that we will begin to discover the true knowledge behind the seemingly mysteries of the universe. Scientists of planet Earth have made incredible strides in the study of the mind. However, they have seemingly failed to convey to people all of what they would be capable of by achieving by simply learning to expand their consciousness. While the conscious constitutes the majority of the mind, it leaves only a meager percentage of the consciousness, making the realization of our energetic abilities and the recollection of our multidimensional experience even more of a challenge. With this knowledge, it is vital that individuals learn how to maintain control of their thoughts and as well as bolster their level of of consciousness so they can travel energetically in full awareness. Mainstream thought has long regarded what is known as the dream state to be the unconscious assumption. However, greatly falsified, many of us have indeed found ourselves able to sense feelings or emotions, both of those of the possible nature as well as those of the negative upon waking from our sleep, and the argument alone contradicts the basic assumption that humans remain entirely unconscious in the state of sleep. How are some people able to retain fragments of their dreams if they have remained entirely unconscious during this dream state? These faulty allegations, unless dismissed, constitute an unfortunate burden of the true meaning of being able to freely travel multidimensionally. Their ability to remember one's travels and remain entirely conscious while doing so. I know, you find yourself in a romantic novel. Pretty much. Weird, huh? I'm just trying to read about this stuff either way. The will of the mind, much like a steering wheel of a car, gives us with the ability to focus on reaching any destination of a desired course of action in our travels, regardless of the circumstances may be. The force of will, a force that can be resonate throughout your entire being while skillfully remain undetected with the physical senses, reconnects our thoughts waves with energetic components that vibrate through this universe. This force of will, much like the oxygen humans breathe, is a force that is readily available for anyone use as long as they remain entirely focused on their intentions to do so. When we wish to travel multidimensionally and to remain conscious while doing so, it's important that we acknowledge the availability of such a force and use it to fuel our intentions toward being able to consciously remember every detail of our travels. Although through this concept may seem a bit difficult to understand at this moment, you will continue to recognize it after you have fully acknowledged its existence and eventually able to realize it to manifest the outcome you desire in any situation of your own life. There exist many universes, galaxies, and planets that have yet to be discovered and explored, and through the discipline, destined another track, nearly available to anyone, rarely available to. Actually, I would say it's available to anyone. Let's see. When we wish to travel multidimensionally to remain conscious. Where was I again? Here's another one. Completely wrong. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Let's see. I'm reading this article here. And this, when we travel multidimensionally to remain conscious while doing so, it is important that we acknowledge the availability of such a force and use it to fuel our intentions, able to consciously remember every detail of our travels. Although this concept may seem difficult to understand, again, back to where I was, the moment you will come to recognize that after you have fully acknowledged its existence and eventually able to utilize it to manifest the outcome. Yeah, there may exist many galaxies and planets that have yet to be discovered and explored, and through discipline and practice, each and every one of us can regain the ability to travel energetically with our minds, wherever we choose to visit. The ability to travel multidimensionally to the vast dimensional existence through the usage of energetic body is by no means one that is marked by exclusivity. It is universal amongst all beings and transgresses across all boundaries of age, culture, and locations. All right. Okay. So that was an interesting article to read. Basically saying if you horn your mind, you can basically travel through other dimensions. Are sleeping when you read? Are you sleeping when you read this? Yeah, not really, but I am a bit tired. Sorry if I got that wrong. Did I slur my words? I thought I was getting that right, though. As I was saying, that article was talking about how if you use your mind, you can travel between dimensions. You have to use it energetically. What kind of word is that, huh? You have to energetically. I guess you have to be pepped up to use that, huh? It's an interesting article, but it's basically talking about the new age stuff where you have to basically get in tune with yourself and you have to do all that stuff. Sorry if I basically screwed that article up. I myself I was having problems with it and stuff like that. It's just new age stuff there. There might be something to it and all that, but we don't really know about anything more about that. Do you think it's possible to travel multidimensionally with your mind through dreams or through your own will to do so, folks? It's an interesting article to read about there. And yes, I'm probably, if I screwed that article up, it's probably because I myself was probably just basically looking at it. And it's a new age concept and all that. Is it real? I don't know. You have to really research this stuff and look into this if you think it's possible. Do I think it's possible? Yes. I do think you can travel interdimensionally with your mind. There are such things, and there's something to be said. I'm sure you have dreams about streaming. Probably. But either way, it's very interesting to read about. And what do you think about that, folks? Do you believe any of that stuff? I think there are interdimensional incidents where people travel to other dimensions or creatures from other dimensions travel here, like Bigfoot maybe being an interdimensional being. UFOs most definitely probably are interdimensional, part of their technology, or maybe they are the UFOs themselves. The ships we see or think we see are interdimensional beings that are basically shapeshifted or basically assume the form of ships so we can more readily accept them in our minds. It's interesting to talk about and to think about, folks. So we had a good video tonight and this stuff. I'm going to thank Bob Rogers. Dustin, can you not remember your dreams? Oh, I can remember my dreams. I remember a lot of them. I'm just not going to basically talk about them, Dustin, and right now on the stream, since we're talking about stuff here and stuff like that. Well, I could do something like that, but thanks for the insight and thanks for the few more chats. I love talking with you guys. Going to thank Bob Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn, Dustin here. We also have Bianca the Zombie as well as Marsupial Gamer who've checked in tonight, having some fun. Now I'm going to end my live stream, folks. We had a good one tonight. Please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics that are bad for you, okay? The there is misspelled in the title. It's THERE. Make sure you subscribe. Leave some comments down below. Make sure you're still subscribed. As well as remember, this video will be up on my Twitter channel at 77megachris1 because YouTube keeps burying my videos. And if you want to watch this video from the beginning, just go to my Twitter channel at 777megachris1. It'll be the first tweet. The first pinned tweet. As well as remember, folks, hit that like button and also hit that bell and hit the part of the bell that gives you all future notifications for my videos. And please go share this video out on Twitter and Facebook. Also, please go and subscribe to Stitched Together Pics. Stitched Together Pics is a YouTube channel that deserves far more subscribers. He does some great reviews of movies. He plays this character called the Maniacal Cinephile who has multiple personality disorder, and you're going to laugh your head off. Go and subscribe to, Maniacal Cinephile. Go and subscribe to Stitched Together Pics, as well as go over and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. Some more comments. I'm sure you have dreams about streaming. Can you not remember dreams? Night, Chris. Good night, man. Also, go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. He does little videos talking about high strangeness, but he also does live streams every night. He live streams on weekdays at 12:30 a.m. and on weekends at 10 o'clock p.m. He talks about aliens and ghosts, and you learn so much from watching from watching him. Go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. And remember, folks, go over and subscribe to Robot Co-op. Robot Co-op is like Mystery Science Theater 3000. They do these live streams with these robot puppets, and they're fun as hell. When you're watching them play video games, you just really have a lot of fun. Go and subscribe to Robot Co-op. Remember, folks, I'll be back again tomorrow around 11 o'clock p.m. for another live stream, so be sure to come back again then. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me.